Good afternoon, folks. The real Captain Kirk here, live from Weather Trends 360 studio here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It is the 23rd of September, the first day of fall. Actually came in early this morning. Doesn't entirely feel like fall for at least much of the country here. This is the warmest start since 2005. So again, a pretty hot start to fall, and we're actually going to think we're going to have an extended fall, warm, dry season this year, even into November. So we think much of the country here may actually have an extended fall, unlike last year's coldest, snowiest October, November in 16 years. So much warmer, drier fall this year. Speaking of dry, it's actually been very dry in the parts of the southeast, even up in here to near WT360 headquarters in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Soil moisture map on the right shows, again, we're starting to dry out along the east coast, southeast, southwest. Nationally, the National Rainfall Index here over the last month, again, second driest in 30-some years, and you have to go back to 2010 when we've been this dry, again, from about the 22nd of August through the 23rd of September on a national scale. So it's been on the dry side. Of course, there's been some pockets of very heavy rain around Houston and in some areas of the Midwest, but again, nationally, again, driest since 2010. If we look at some of the tropics here, again, getting pretty active right now. We have 3 tropical storms, no hurricanes as of right now, but 3 tropical storms in the Atlantic. You've got Jerry heading in the direction of Bermuda. Again, it'll probably remain a weaker tropical storm, so nothing like Humberto. Karen is going to be a little worrisome. Models try to take it again north through Puerto Rico and then may do a loop-de-loop and head it back toward Florida here, according to the European models. So we'll have to. Florida is not out of the woods here as we get into the late weekend into next week. So again, something to watch, and that would be Karen. Be a very tiny, compact storm, and but again, those can be pretty strong as well. So Karen's the one to watch for Florida, and then we've got Lorenzo out in the Atlantic. Will become a hurricane, but again, that too should remain a fish storm. So right now, keep an eye on Karen. Weak in the near term, but again, something to watch. If we look at this week overall, 23 through 29 September, these last week of September here, warmer than last year nationally, 7th warmest in 30 years, above average temperatures. So again, very, very warm, again, from Texas all the way in the northeast. Cool spots are the Pacific Northwest, and the only reason the Southwest is kind of cool is because they're getting some tropical rainfall here this week. So may see some flooding in Arizona, and then that big heavy swath of some residual tropical moisture going from Texas, where they need it. Again, not down near Houston, they don't need it, but certainly in West Texas, has been very dry, in Oklahoma. So that'll move in through this week. Jumping ahead to next week, getting into October here. Hard to believe that. 30 September through 6 October. Warmest in 6 years, 5th warmest in 30 years, above average east. You see some of that colder weather, though, heading back into the upper Rockies and northern plains. So, again, that'll be the cold spot. Montana, again, way below average here going into next week. Rainfall, again, heaviest right there in the middle of the Corn Belt in Iowa. Again, it is harvest season, so they probably don't want to see quite that much rain right there. Again, it's been a challenging year, to say the least, but it's almost over. And, again, dry for the eastern two-thirds of the Corn Belt, but nationally we'd say it's the wettest in 4 years, 5th wettest in 30 years with above average national rainfall. But again, very dry still here in Pennsylvania, the mid-Atlantic. It's been quite dry, actually. The lawns are starting to burn up a bit here with the recent dry conditions after such a wet spring. Look at the world outlook here, 23 September through 6 October, so this is 2 weeks aggregated overall. Again, you see the very much below normal's precip actually on the map on the left there from the southeast, Houston, where they need a break in the rain, all the way through the northeast, and then the wet conveyor belt of moisture from the southwest into the central U.S. and parts of the northern Rockies, where some of that actually is going to be some snow here next week. Map on the right is temperature trends versus max temps versus average. Again, very cold for much of Canada. Southeast, the hot spot. Eastern Europe, Russia is on the cool side. It's down in Spain, pretty hot. Still hot down in Brazil. So with that, folks, we launched a new website here. I'm not sure if you've seen that here, but it's a new weathertrends360.com homepage. Everything on the inside is still the same, so all the tools, quick cast, and things you're used to seeing are the same, but just a new, fresh look. Hope you like it. Check it out. The little one, haven't posted her recently here, and I'm getting some flack for not even mentioning the name Angelina Kirk. She was looking at Daddy's Weather. Daddy's Weather shows it's very warm waters off the New Jersey shore here. So I uttered the words beach, and she's like, okay, and proceeded to go get her water toys. This was Sunday afternoon, almost midday. So you usually plan these things, but when the little one said, let's go, and had her little cement factory ready to go, we actually took the trip to the shore here. So it was an impromptu day, but again, a nice hot, upper 80s actually is pretty hot to say the least, but beautiful water and a little busier than we thought. Quite a bit of big crowd there, but she absolutely loved it. So with that, folks, we'll let you watch her here. She does her little cement factory routine.
Wow, you're making cement. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Do we need more water?
So with that, folks, have a great week, and we'll be back here this time next week.